We're going to call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Second.
Present.
Dean.
Here.
Gardner. Leo.
She's absent.
Lewis.
Here.
Stanton.
Here.
Truster.
Here.
All right, very good. At this time, we have no agenda changes. Our guest speaker was going to be here and couldn't. Is he gone, Frank? His mom is in the hospital.
That's correct.
So yeah, she's had some health issues. So our thoughts were, of course, with him and his family. So this time we're at public comment on agenda items only. We don't have anybody present in chambers. Anybody online, Madam Clerk? No. All right. We'll move on then. And before we get to discussion, I'm just going to turn it over to the manager so we can do some introductions and announcements. How's that?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Very excited to announce our new employees are here for the second day.
Yes.
You always get worried if they're going to show back up, but they did. So, you know what? First with Miss Sarah Williams. So Sarah was recruited through Jamie. Actually, they have a previous working relationship. Jamie is super organized, but Sarah, I hear, takes it to the next level. So she's going to keep us structured in the office. Happy to have her. She's going to be working downstairs. We actually retrofitted the office downstairs and have a nice space for her. So happy to have her.
Very good.
And then Mr. Ryan Cummins, he's here. And I think you know much more about his experience. And Ryan, if you would,
yeah.
Would you just introduce yourself to our crew or reintroduce yourself and tell us about your experience?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Heiss and Mayor and City Council. Good afternoon. It's nice to be before you. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to serve in the city of Saugatuck, honestly. Wonderful community. I've visited a number of times over the years. And so to be able to serve here and be here and come here and see the water and this beautiful town it's really a great opportunity. But just a little bit about me. From Muskegon, grew up, born and raised there. Went off Spartan, got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Michigan State University. So go green, especially this football season here. Taken a few courses towards a master's in business administration. And I've really been able to kind of gain some unique experiences over the years in hired roles, appointed roles, and then an elected role as well. So worked for the state of Michigan for about 6.5 years, primarily doing child protection work. I was a manager for a child protective services investigation unit for a couple of years. Worked for the city of Muskegon for the last 3.5 years, initially as an event planner, and I was based out of the clerk's office. So I learned probably nearly every clerk's office function as well. So election administration, FOIAs, business permits, you know, all that fun stuff. I assisted with that, especially in the off season in the winter when event planning was maybe a little bit slower. We weren't in the mix of all the events. So planned everything from large musical acts to smaller, you know, dinners, farm to table dinners for our farmers market. We did a lot of event programming downtown to really support our downtown development authority. For the last 10 years, I've worked seasonally for the Iowa County Sheriff's Office, their Marine Patrol units, served a few years as their squad leader. So I led our North End Marine Patrol units, served on the reserve unit until it was disbanded a few years ago as well. So I worked as a second uniformed sheriff's deputy, taking calls, doing everything our deputies do, but supporting really their functions and efforts. From the appointed side, I live now in the city of Grand Haven. I served on our planning commission for 4 years, served 2 years on our zoning board of appeals, including some time as chairman. And then I was encouraged to take a crack at elected office and ran for city council and was elected to a seat and now serve as our mayor pro tem. So kind of a variety of experience that I'm glad to bring here to Saugatuck. Really grateful and look forward to working with all of you.
That's great. Thank you.
Ryan.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Happy to have you both.
For both.
Yeah. Welcome to both. Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. All right. other news you'd like to share? Like, do you want to do that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So we did get news. So Madam Mayor just asked me if I'd like to share some news about the Blue Star Trail, the bike trail, multimodal path. So we did get a phone call from the state, which I've been waiting for quite some time. Basically reinstating the commitment, verbal commitment based on conditions that we heard from our engineers when they heard about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so that was a confirmation of what we thought was coming. And so that's very exciting news for people that have been working on this project for over a decade. And so what that means is everything that was presented from the engineer previously, all of those conditions are probably still in place. We're waiting for the official letter from the state before we talk about it too much more, because we don't know what's going to be in there exactly. And so that's exciting news.
It's great news. Congratulations to everybody.
To everyone.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Okay. Welcome, newbies. We'll move on. The first discussion item we have is Glow in the Park. Mr. Manager.
Madam Mayor, this one's going to be on page 2. And we'll just go straight into the motion because this one is
Well, we're just we're just workshop, right? So
Yeah.
we're really just discussing.
Yep.
Um,
You'll see this on your agenda on Monday.
Yep. So I don't think we've had Glow in the Park at least the last year, maybe the last 2 with the pandemic.
Well, since, the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay, so it's been several years. It's nice to see it coming back to Coughlin Park. It's always a wonderful event, very well attended. Kind of the younger person's alternative to the adult parade, but always lots of fun. So I'm really excited to see that coming back. Pretty straightforward. Any questions from council on Glow in?
Yeah, I'm wondering if somebody here knows the background of Histopoulos Productions.
Is
They
that
haven't,
Aaron's production company? Is it Aaron Wilkinson's production?
Was it
Or is it somebody else? I saw somebody
I'm a
else's
little
name. listed.
familiar. It's a Julia Dale is the director. It's someone that I only know from insurance
No, okay.
reasons,
Yeah,
but someone that Aaron has co-partnered with on a couple of events. They've
Okay.
done some things at Oxbow primarily.
okay,
They're in more, on the artsy side of things.
okay.
Looks like Aaron's
So
on.
whether
Aaron's
they're
the guy.
bringing something a little different to this event or not.
Okay. Aaron, hi, we see you're
Aaron, she
on.
can say. She can
Yeah.
speak
Hi
to that
there.
more.
Hi, Aaron.
How are you?
Very good. How are you? Fill us
Good.
in.
Yes, Histopoulos Productions is a 501c3 that I have partnered with and now run the Douglas Halloween Parade for adults, Glow in the Park, and we also do Kukla Fest.
Okay,
That was.
got it.
okay?
Great.
And really the history behind that was, I think you all know me, I just do these events myself, but Douglas had decided a couple of years ago that it was creating somewhat of an issue to have an individual using city services for the event. And so basically they said, if you don't have a not-for-profit, I would have to pay for all city services and jump through a bunch of extra hoops. And so I am partnered with Histopoulos Productions, and they are dedicated to furthering the art of puppetry, amongst other things.
Great.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
good enough for me.
Great.
Is
Other
that puppetry?
puppetry.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sure I heard that right. Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions since we've got Aaron on the line? Anybody else?
No, Aaron, but I think we all appreciate the bookending of things because it does bring people to town beginning of October and the end of October. So I know a lot of people are excited about that as far as, the places in town that can house all the folks that want to stay the night.
That
So,
was our
I love the
goal. We figured
bookending.
as big as it got, we figured it deserved its own weekend. And if we put it on a Saturday, it would invite a lot more people that could come for the weekend. So
Yeah.
hopefully it will be really good for business.
That's great.
Great.
Yeah,
All right.
and the configuration looks almost identical to Venetian's, which has worked out really well the past 2 years we've done it. So I
Yeah.
think that's a good setup model to follow for the park. So that
Great.
was good.
All right. Very good. Very straightforward. All right. Next up, we have the special event application for the Cow Hill Yacht Club Chili Cook-Off.
Madam Mayor, page 13. for your consideration on Monday.
Any questions, comments from council? I know, Ken, you've been involved with this in the past.
Mhm.
Pretty nice event.
I know the people who are managing this and they're going to do a good job, I'm sure.
Very good. Any questions for council? No, pretty straightforward. All right, next up, Mount Baldhead 24-hour climathon. This is something I know that we're all going to sign up for.
Madam Mayor, this is a new one. And it will be on your agenda for Monday.
Mhm.
And hopefully we have somebody that can speak to it today.
He wasn't able to make today's meeting.
Okay. All right, so we can get some information.
Yeah, collect any questions that you have and
All right.
present them back along the way.
So it's an
before-
estimated 5 attendees. So is it just like 5 people doing this, or are they inviting other people to join in?
My understanding, what's the gentleman's name?
Daniel Bonner.
Yeah, Daniel reached out to, he emailed several of us several months ago about this event, and we was not in a position to take advantage of this from a fundraising standpoint for the Baldhead radar station. So he's doing this, and I'm not sure who's raising money for it, but it's going to be, I don't know exactly how many runners, but they're going to be, pledging. So basically a number of flights, I guess, or number of steps, maybe something like that. So I'm sure he'll explain that in more detail, but that's my understanding of how it's going to be.
That's my understanding as well. It's going to be a limited amount of people kind of filming themselves, doing the up and down and pledging. So they're not going to invite other people to run up and down.
So we don't know.
Well,
if it
being that it's
goes down the stairs
They-
or,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just curious about.
Oh, no, yeah. So
Accessibility.
my understanding was that just a few amount of people and they were not going to close down the steps.
Okay.
It doesn't appear that they need any assistance from DPW or anything. So I don't see anything. Or,
My understanding, correct.
yeah.
And I guess one question I have is the funds that are raised will go to.
It's a great question. I don't
Yes.
know the answer.
It says Mount Baldhead Park.
Does it?
What does it mean, Mount Baldhead Park?
Well,
Go to the city or?
Right.
They just-
one would think it goes to the Parks and Rec
So
Committee.
that would be a
but-
good question to ask on Monday. All right.
Yeah, we do want to know where the funds are going.
Yes,
Very, very specifically.
yes, that would be good.
Okay. All right, next up, the fall fundraising dinner for the Friends of the Saugatuck Douglas Library. Mr. Mann.
Madam Mayor, this one's on page 31, starts on
Mhm.
page 31. I'm not familiar with this. I don't know if that's historical
Is
or.
anybody online? Is that Keith and his crew?
Yeah, she wasn't able to
Peace,
come
Mark.
today, but it's a fall fundraising dinner that they're actually gonna pick up their dinners from Mount Baldy Meats.
Oh,
And they thought it would be a better idea to request the closure of that city parking lot. So people can just drive through, pick up their meals and leave instead of have to find parking, get out, pick up the meals and go back to their car.
got it.
So her request is just to see if they can use this parking lot for 2 hours for them.
Okay,
Yeah, but it's from 5 to 7, and so it's gonna be kind of difficult to vacate the parking lot on a Saturday afternoon. You'd
Oh,
have to
that's
close it for the whole day. And it's-
looks
I
like
don't
set
think
up
that's a-
3 to 7 o'clock, the end of September.
Sound like,
Are they planning to come on Monday? Do you know, Jay?
I'll double check with her. She
Okay.
wasn't-
you would think a good.
Yeah. I will tell you that they used an establishment that I'm very familiar with last year, and it was very much of a inside, in and out very quickly. I mean, they didn't tinker around.
That's what she
They
was
came and
saying.
picked up their meals and they were out of there, and it was fast. They didn't hang around. So,
Speaking about shutting down one of our only parking lots for a whole
Well,
day.
It appears to be on
what
a
we've done in the
Tuesday.
past with the chili cook-off is to put signs up in advance saying no parking from 5 to 7 or whatever we want to do. Or you'll be towed, and
okay.
people would get the message and get their cars out of there.
And Scott's right, that's a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And they're picking,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
a
I'm sorry, I
It's a
thought it was
Tuesday
Sunday.
and,
Yeah.
and the food's provided by Baldy's, which then makes
Yeah,
it
I
more
didn't see
sense.
catch the date.
All good.
In fact, I
I
think,
assume everyone wants to do something on a Saturday.
yeah.
I thought so.
No, that's not big.
Like, I guess it makes it efficient then for them to get
It's
get
very-
in from
yeah.
Baldy's and get out from
Yeah.
Baldy's.
Yeah. So we can expect them to be here Monday, maybe
I will
ask some
double check with her.
questions. That would be good. I think it's,
They-
Sorry.
One of the two.
all right.
They're actually, yeah, they have.
All right. Very good. And last up, we have the Shippo Mount Baldhead, Mr. Manager.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, this is on page 36. I would recommend you turn this over to Mr. Gardner.
They're on the back.
We have to. Thank you very much. So this is exciting news. The Baldhead Radar Station, Gap Filler Radar Station is the official name, is on the agenda for September 23rd for the State Historic Preservation Office for nomination to the National Register of Historic Places. And our understanding is that if you make the agenda, you generally are approved. So there's about, I think there's 6 or 7 other locations on the agenda that day. What's Chuck's last name at the moment? Chuck Gustafson is working with Eric Galonic who will both be in person. I plan on attending myself personally to do a short presentation regarding the application. The application process was started back in about 2017, and Jim Schmeeken actually was kind of the start of all of this. And then with Jim's moving away from all of this, it just kind of went dormant. And Chuck, to his credit, just kind of picked it up and worked with Eric and worked with Paula Bradford initially, and then Paula backed away. But Eric and Chuck have been kind of the drivers on this. This is a big thing. This is a real big thing for the city. So they've asked for letters of support from various interested parties, and as being the quote unquote owner of the building, the site, they've asked for a letter of support.
Okay. Very good. Very straightforward.
Great.
All right.
This is exciting. So
yeah, it's great news. Great news. Very good. All right. With that, any public comments on any item whatsoever? Anybody online, Madam Clerk?
No, not that I see.
All right, we have no correspondence. With that, we'll move to council comments. Ken.
Nothing here.
All right, Mr. Becker.
Other than welcoming our 2 new employees again.
Yeah,
Good luck.
ditto.
All right.
And,
Good.
forward to working with you.
Lauren. All right, Scott.
Just welcome to Sarah and Ryan.
All right, Russ.
thank you. Just 2 things. One is I just want to acknowledge the receipt of the letter from Mr. Walsh today. This is exactly what I had in mind. So thank you very much. I would ask that this be put into the correspondence for the Monday workshop of the Monday meeting. Sure. Just so it's made public. Very much appreciate him doing that for us, for the city and for our citizens. 2 is regarding events. I don't know, did anybody attend the Labor Day bridge walk on Monday?
Working.
Yeah.
Out of town.
I didn't make it either, but there apparently was some last minute organization that had to be done to make sure that it was safely organized and so forth. And so it got me thinking about, I talked with the chief, I talked with Lieutenant Ensfield. I think going forward, I think council, we should open up some discussion around maybe doing the safety meeting before the event application reaches our desk. Because in that way, everything is put in place, everything is signed off on from the DPW standpoint, fire and safety, and police, and that application is then signed off on so we can see the plans that are in place. I think it's a more logical procession of the event as opposed to signing off contingent on plans being made, which has caused some problems. So I just put that out there for discussion in terms of maybe changing our procedure and policy on that.
Yeah, isn't the community rec sponsor that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So they're probably a little.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, if I may.
Please.
Agreed, Mr. Gardner. Going forward into next year, we're going to get special event coordination much more dialed in. We're going to be much more stringent about having applications 2 months in advance, having these discussions in advance, obviously with the 2-month progression. And then the thing that's been tripping everyone up is this new recommendation or new requirement for barricades, right? So historically, the city has not been prepared, and especially the event organizers have not been prepared to meet those requirements. And so it has been a ton of last minute shuffling, which staff's not happy about. And so I think that is an important discussion going into next year for sure.
Right. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Lastly, I want to congratulate everybody on making it through another summer, another very busy summer in Saugatuck. My dad said, summer's over. I said, not until the 22nd of September. That's the first day of fall. But what a great weekend. Very busy, packed in town. I talked to a couple of the DPW staff and they were hauling it the whole weekend. Just so many people. I think everybody's ready to take a collective breath, I think. Bertie Holly posted, you know, she was, you know, she's exhausted. I think you also saw the notice that the chain ferry is now closed for the season. So they are done. So just a FYI, if anybody inquires. And lastly, again, welcome to our new staff, Sarah and Ryan. We're very, very delighted to have you on board and to complete our contingent. So it's wonderful. All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Will we adjourn?
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All right. There we go. Thank you.